Sifted is how tech companies create community. It's lunch as a perk. I'm Sarah Zad, City Manager of Sifted Nashville. The founders and our teams have built Sifted into a tech-enabled food business with $2 million ARR and 440% year-over-year growth in 24 months. With no funding, we serve daily lunch to the fastest growing, most innovative brands. It all started with two women, Jess and Kimberly. We all used to work together at Qualifax, a local fast-growing software company that you all may know. While there, we found we were competing nationally for top tech talent, which meant we were competing against companies who were offering higher salaries, traditional benefits, plus a whole portfolio of lifestyle perks. The idea was to help companies offer the same level of perk, but at a fraction of the cost. They pitched the idea to Clint Smith, CEO of Emma, and 1 week later, launched into a 9-month beta program. It was during that time they realized there was a big market for this. They realized so they quit their full-time jobs, refined the model, and began to build the brand. Shortly after that, they sold Warby Parker and Eventbrite, and convinced me to leave my job at Qualifax to come work for them. So now I work for Sifted in Nashville. They did that so that they can launch into Atlanta, Austin, and now Denver. Sifted launched to rethink the office lunch. Lunch has become a prerequisite perk for startups that want to recruit top tech talent and become a destination workplace. In addition to the growing $9 billion corporate catering market, funded startups are adding $500 million a year to in-office catering. Sifted has created experiential lunch programs for high-growth companies. Just today for lunch, we served the same dish that you all had today, the orzo with the Tuscan chicken and meatballs. But you don't need to read all of our feedback to know that good food is powerful. When teams come together over chef-made lunches, the experience extends far beyond the lunch hour. But traditional corporate catering doesn't fit the modern tech office. It doesn't satisfy a team of foodie professionals. It means that someone has to order lunch, identify who's vegetarian, who's gluten-free, track down the delivery guy, set up, and clean up. It may feed stomachs, but it doesn't feed culture. One thing to note about Sifted, we think of ourselves as a tech company, but not a traditional tech company. We're a food business that's built like a software company. We're a tech-enabled service. And tech-enabled services are changing the way we live and do business. It's why $5.7 billion was invested in tech-enabled food businesses last year alone. We took the best of the software as a service model to become a company with recurring revenue, predictable costs, year-long contracts, 100% prepayment, and every client is profitable. We serve the same team day after day. This means we know exactly who we're serving and when. It's the predictability that's been missing from the food tech industry and what's allowed us to build a playbook to scale the formerly unscalable. We know that Eventbrite engineers eat 7 ounces of protein for lunch, while Warby Parker's client services team eats 5. We know down to the ounce how much raw ingredients we need to purchase so that we can eliminate food waste. This is truly a data-driven lunch. We partner with the fastest growing companies and become an integral part of their culture. As they grow, we grow. When Lyft opened up their Nashville office last year, they wanted to provide a lunch program similar to the one that they offer in their San Francisco location. Our focus on creating experiential lunches meant we were the perfect partner for them. Since we first served them, they've grown from a staff of 60 people to over 450 people. They grow every single time we serve them. The same has happened with Eventbrite. Julia Hartz, CEO of Eventbrite, uses Sifted lunches as part of her compensation package. She's able to win top tech talent away from her competitors with job offers that include free lunch. Sifted lunches have become the staff favorite perk. It's the perk that gets 100% participation. Our West Coast competitors have spent tens of millions of dollars building technology to support their model of sourcing from different restaurants. And while they're seeing negative unit economics, we've created a profitable model by owning the process end to end. And while our competition has been focused on short-term relationships and transactional revenue, we've positioned Sifted as an extension of our client's brand and team through long-term contracts. Our lunch programs are recurring, contracted, and priced per person per lunch. We're the only high-growth startup in the space with a full culinary team. We have higher margins than our competitors and greater control over the client experience. We have a formula for taking market share, and we operate super lean. We launched in 2 markets in 2016, and just last week we launched in Denver, all while remaining profitable. We're now in 4 cities with a roadmap to 10 cities in 2017. While we're focused on expanding geographically, our roots are here in Nashville. We want to be the food partner to local companies who see culture as a competitive advantage. In addition, we're growing our team here locally. We have all positions, all levels of positions open here. So if you know any talented people who could be a good fit, I would love to speak with them. If you know any progressive leaders who want to treat their teams, I'd love an introduction. The lunch hour isn't going away. Let's feed them Sifted. Thank you.
Hey, it's good to see you. So Launch Tennessee has been a client of Sifted's. I think we were maybe the 3rd or 4th client that you guys had.
I know we've had email
done our conference and all of that. And it's been amazing to watch you guys grow. It's just incredible.
Thank you.
On the subject of growth, do you have any concern about expanding too quickly and losing that quality, which is really what sets Sifted apart from just ordering from somewhere?
Yeah. I think that's always a concern, but what we've learned, as long as we have the right people in place in that city, it tends to just go really well. So I could actually tell you guys, I'm actually moving out of that city manager role to become their city launcher. And so we have formed a team. It's myself. We have this amazing consultant who's becoming full-time who opened up the Google Kitchens, and he's come on board. And then we have this amazing community manager. And so the idea is to kind of get there, set up these teams, train them up. They need to know a lot. We have really built out this playbook. There's a lot that goes into it, and just really prepare them for success. It does take some time. You know, the more that we can train them, the better. But from what we've seen so far in our other cities, as long as we've given them the tools and provided the enough support, I'm on the phone with Austin, Denver all the time, and as long as we can do that, I feel like we can expand that quickly.
Do you know what the average size of a business is when they start offering free lunch in terms of revenue? Do you guys have that from a target market standpoint?
You know, I can't say I necessarily know the revenue of all of our clients, but I can tell you the size. In general, I would say they're at a minimum 30 people. You know, most of our models, we do daily, weekly, and monthly. That's typically what we do. And I would say that the majority are within the 30 to 60, but we definitely have clients like, you know, with Lyft with over 450 now. We have multiples in the hundreds. The perfect client is usually for us like 60, 70 people, like Monday through Friday. And we're just like, yes, this is perfect.
And how many people are doing it every day versus bi-weekly versus monthly?
Yeah.
What does that look like from a market standpoint?
Honestly, so from our current customer base, I would say about 70% are every day, Monday through Friday. Yeah, it tends to work best, and that's something I didn't really go into within this, but the more that we see our customers, the better the experience for them. They just learn to they get to know our like amazing team members. We have Tim back here. He's also a registered dietitian, so he can like tell them what things are like healthy and kind of point them in that direction. And so I would say the more we see them, they get to know our amazing team, the better and happier they are. Eventbrite, there you have that crazy mac and cheese event like comment from that was just from 2 weeks ago. We've been serving them for over a year, and I feel like they are giving even more feedback than ever.
How custom can you does the same if I order lunch from my team on Friday, does everyone get the same exact meal? Because I'm more particular about what I eat. I don't eat gluten. I don't eat.
So you're gluten-free. What else are you?
And all that stuff. So how particular do you guys get? Yeah. And that's logistically, I wonder how do you customize food that much for all these different companies?
Yep, that's a great question. So I'll tell you, we today everyone was provided that same meal. but we have different variations of it. So we serve paleos, we serve gluten-free, we serve soy-free, we pretty much can meet almost every dietary restriction. When I get on the phone with a customer, the first question I would ask about gluten-free is, how severe is it? You know, because we operate out of a commissary kitchen. We cannot control what's in the air. And so if there is a very major, allergy like that, we will do our best, but obviously there is that kind of asterisk there because it's a commissary kitchen and there's only so much we can control. So we would probably tell you that, but we can provide you that gluten-free option. And we've already planned for it and ordered for that because we know all of our restrictions and numbers for all of our clients when they sign that contract. And then our customers will actually reach out to us, like the individual eaters. We use Slack a lot to interact with them, and they'll tell us, okay, now I'm gluten-free, and then we just kind of mark that down.
What's the the margin, and then also who is your competitor? Is it like the cafeteria at the company? But I just haven't been at many company cafeterias, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's not the company cafeteria. It is companies like Foodie and Cater to Me. I kind of touched on it a little bit, but really a lot of our competitors, what they do is they may provide a similar experience that looks like family style, but they're sourcing from restaurants. And so there's a middleman. They're kind of just like the broker. So we really are the only kind of startup in this space that has that full culinary team. So we kind of control that whole process, and that's why we can tell you this is gluten-free. Our chefs made that, this morning.
What's your average price of meal? So if, as a business owner, what am I paying per employee? Obviously, it probably depends on size and stuff like that.
Size and frequency has a lot to do with it, but it ranges from $12 to $18. And so obviously, the more frequent you use the service and the more people that you have, the lower the price per person.
Do companies typically pay 100% of it, or are they paying a portion of it? And what's most successful for the company?
Right now, all of our customers, the companies are paying 100%. There's definitely a need for subsidized lunches, and that's something that's been brought up to us, particularly in co-working spaces like this. So we've had some meetings and talked to people who run some co-working spaces, and it is something we definitely want to get into at some point. But right now, all of our customers, the employer pays.